Hi.
Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
So, first off, I love your next guest, OG.
I know, I
He's
do
so
too.
funny.
And I love food.
He's amazing. So the moment I heard that Kal Penn has yet another show, I knew I just had to track him down, and here's how it went. Our next guest always excels at whatever it is he decides to do, whether it's film or television, drama or comedy, politics, cutting his own hair during the pandemic. So if there's one thing we know for sure about Kal Penn, it's that the man has got taste. And we're praying that the contestants on his new Food Network show do too, because they're gonna need it.
Do you trust your taste? I'm Kal Penn, host of Money Hungry, the first ever culinary show that puts the palates of chefs, recipe developers, and everyday Americans to the test. What flavor are these crickets?
I'm going to eat a shoe. Oh my God. Oh.
Now from the upcoming competition series Money Hungry, please welcome actor, activist, the pride of New Jersey and the whole world, Mr. Kal Penn!
Thank you, thank you. Good to see you again.
Same here. So I just saw you not too long ago for Kal Penn Approves This Message, and here we are together again, Kal Penn. We are practically best friends at this point. You can argue if you want.
No, I'm not going to argue. In fact, I was going to say the opposite when you mentioned my pandemic haircutting. I was like, you know, we should talk offline about turning that into a show.
We should.
People, right? Like home barbers. It's sort of like this food show except for barbers.
You're the show god because there's nothing Kal Penn has not done. What have I done? Zero. So let's just focus on you right now, Kal Penn, and talk about Money Hungry, which is being described as the ultimate test of taste buds. So how does it work and how much are we talking?
Yeah, so let me set this up for you. So
Okay.
most food shows obviously are based on cooking particular dishes. Our show is a competition show based on tasting those dishes. So all the contestants have really refined palates. Basically, that just means they have really good abilities to tell you what things taste like and in very subtle ways. So these people are food bloggers, restaurant critics, cookbook writers. So they live in that space between hardcore professional chef and amateur. They're like in that in between. So they come on our show. They have 15 challenges. If they make all 15 challenges, they walk away with $50,000. And the challenges start really simple. Like I'll give them a dish and they have to tell me whether something has salt or sugar, right? Or whether something has, you know, honey or cinnamon. But then they get really hard as you move past, especially after the first like 6 or 7, you get into things like which obscure spice is in this very complicated dish. And I'm kind of watching them and going, how do you do that? I'm smelling this dish and all I can smell is like cinnamon, or all I can smell is clove coming out of it. I don't know how you're going to pinpoint like the third or fourth subtle ingredient, but they do because they've trained their palates to do this and they really sort of know how. So it's been really, like, they're all super nice, by the way, also. They're all very, they're very down to earth. They were really good at sharing with me and with the audience what it's like to go through the process of tasting something. And then that's it. You know, some of them obviously win more money than others. If you make it through the halfway mark, I offer you I offer you $5,000 to just walk away and go home. Some of them might be tempted to take that if they're not feeling so confident when they get started. A lot of it is also like, you know that episode of The Brady Bunch when Cindy Brady just stares at the red light? Like she's fine before everything starts airing and then she's just totally zoned out. So some of them might be a little more nervous once the cameras start rolling. That's all part of the show. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited that we're finally premiering it.
All right, so I saw the trailer and I saw parts with crickets and tasting shoes and stuff. So I figured that they're not trying to figure out Jolly Rancher flavors here. It's high stakes situations. So with those crickets and bugs I saw, what are some of the weird, intense things that you guys add into the mix?
Yeah, so the cricket one's actually a good example. So there are 3 different types, or dried crickets that are flavored 3 different ways. And a lot of shows, and I know that the trailer sort of does this where you're like, whoa, you're eating crickets. But crickets are a source of protein, a primary source of protein in different parts of the world. So we didn't want to approach it with like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're eating crickets, but rather talk about the fact, and I think one of our panelists does in that episode, talk about the fact that crickets are a legit source of protein in some places, even though we didn't probably grow up eating them in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And so for the foodies who have to decipher the taste, you know, it's more about which of the 3 flavors. I think one was ranch, one was barbecue, and one was something else, if I'm remembering correctly.
Nah.
So that might have been a little bit easier because the flavor itself is something you're familiar with. It's just the protein is something you may not be used to eating all the time. That shoe that you saw, also
is it a cake?
Little nugget for audience. It is a cake, yes, and it's obviously a fancy cake. So when you cut into the shoe, you realize it's a cake. I mean, even the contestants from far away, it just looks like a giant shoe. And that cake is, I can't remember the name of the pastry chef or the dessert chef who made it. We mentioned it on the episode, but there are so many high level ingredients of like a little bit of an essence of something or an oil of something else or a type of sweetener that they have to figure out. Like, you know, some people have really good noses for things like jasmine, right? But if there's only a little bit of a jasmine essence in a really fancy cake, I don't know how you figure that out. But that's the kind of palate level that we're talking about with our later challenge.
Before I let you go, Kal Penn, because I have to say your first and last name. Before I let you go, Kal Penn, I'm just saying that's how I say your name. If I had to describe my palate, I would say it's like a powerful palate because I can take any level of spicy. How's your palate? One, and number two, are you a good cook? Since you're on Food Network now, Discovery Plus, and all that stuff. Let's talk about your situation.
Okay, so I have I would describe my palate as like a hole-in-the-wall taco stand palate. But I am trying to evolve it to the point where it's the taco stand at like a Michelin star restaurant. Like I'm trying to learn. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, of course not. It was a ridiculous sentence. What I mean
everything
by
you
that,
say we get. Even if we don't get it, we're like, you make us just like, we're like, we're like, yep, whatever you say, Kal Penn, you like hypnotize us.
So what I mean by that is I didn't grow up as a foodie, but in the last probably 5 or 6 years, I've been really interested in the story of food and especially ingredients and the fact that so many things that I thought were prohibitive and really hard to cook, you can actually cook. You just have to do it like trial and error, like most things in life, and be willing to fall flat on your face 10 times to make a particular dish, and it just keeps getting better. So that's where I'm like, one of the things that drew me to hosting the show is I did not go to culinary school, but I really want to learn all this stuff and I really want to be better at it. I want to adult sometimes. Sometimes I want to have 4 friends over, and instead of grilling, I kind of want to cook a fancy meal. I'm not quite there yet, but at some point, that's my goal for 2021, 2022. So that's the show is a big boost in terms of making me feel, and hopefully our audience feel like, yeah, that is actually a thing I could do.
Well, my goal for 2021, 2022, and beyond is to be more like Kal Penn and have like 82 zillion jobs. How about that? And you're going to lead the way. You're going to teach me whether you like it or not. And everyone at home, you can check out this host with the most on Food Network's new competition series, Money Hungry, starting August 10th. It also airs on Discovery Plus, so be sure to check it out. Kal Penn, always a pleasure to see you. See you soon, Sensei. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See? Every single time I love him even more.
Making New Jersey proud. It's an awesome show, but he brings up such a good point, too. Like, some of these foods, Oj, that, like, you get a taste, like, a very, very subtle, like, how do they know it's in there?
I just taste spice, pepper. Yeah. I can just tell that, but that's about it. But he's impressive with, like, all the stuff he does.
Right.